Okay, let's talk about the Rams draft. Wild draft, I thought. One of the more interesting drafts out of the teams that didn't have a first round pick. So first, they go in the second round because that's when their first pick is, and they already have Cooper Cup, they already have Robert Woods, they have Van Jefferson, who was fine as a rookie, and they go out and they get Tutu Atwell, which I think surprised a lot of people. To me, this is a clear example of they want a speedy deep threat. I don't know why. I don't know what McVay has in his head where he's decided he needs a deep threat because they signed Deshaun Jackson as well. But now they go out and they get Tutu Atwell, which, if I'm being honest, I don't think he's the most complete receiver in this draft. And he's definitely, I mean, he's little. Like, there's no denying. If people are complaining about Devonta Smith's height and weight, at one point he was apparently he weighed 140 pounds, which just seems like, how is that an NFL level player? Now, he's listed a lot bigger now. He's listed at 155, which is still not big. 5'8", 155. That's a small person. That's just a small person. Forget small NFL player. So when I have way too much weight on him, I have like 70 pounds myself on him. It says two things. It says, one, I need to probably lose some weight, and two, he's a little guy. So I get the logic behind it, I guess, just in the sense that they want a deep threat. It's just weird, and I almost feel like I don't want to criticize it too much because Sean McVay has to know something I don't. Sean McVay has to be convinced that his offense needs a deep threat. So I'm just going to sort of see how this one plays out, I guess, because it's interesting. I was going to start off by talking about how, Ernest Jones at round 3, okay, they needed a linebacker, so I understand why they're going with linebacker here. Although, did they need a linebacker? Because just the way the Rams defense tends to work, they don't really, for whatever reason, having just okay linebackers, they can totally be awesome with that. So, getting another guy in the room, I understand it. It is a position of need. So there you go. Just sort of more of a joke than anything. And Bobby Brown in the fourth with a defense, getting a defensive tackle there is another pick that I get. You lost Michael Brockers, so you also lost Morgan Fox. So just getting another guy in the room, sort of as a depth guy, maybe someone who can be a rotational player next to Aaron Donald, could be some value. They have Joseph Day, they have a Sean Robinson, just another guy who you hope can become solid. In the fourth round, first they get Robert Rochelle, who, the first thing I look at with cornerbacks is how fast are they. He did break 4.4. That wasn't a pro day, but he's still going to be fast enough to be a good player. It was 4.39, so barely broke 4.4. But again, pro day time, so a little bit, it's more, it's a 4.4 something. We know that, but still a little bit smaller at right around 6 feet. He's an interesting player. Getting another quick corner. I'm not sure if that's, I guess they did need some cornerback help now that I think about it because they lost Troy Hill. So getting another defensive back in the room sort of has depth. There's logic there. And again, typically I care a lot about, I wonder what kind of defensive scheme they're going to run actually next year. Because again, they lost their defensive coordinator. I don't know if it's going to be the same or not. So that's interesting, but maybe they'll want a quicker corner. And then you also have Jacob Harris, who is a wide receiver, transitioned probably to tight end. He's 6'5", only 211 pounds though. So if he wants to be tight end, gonna have to bulk up a little bit to really do that. But again, they could use another tight end. So I get it. Tight ends typically take some time to develop, but could be a move for the future perhaps. In the fifth round, the Rams took Ernest Brown the fourth, who seems like what's interesting about him is he can play anywhere on the defensive line. So again, I always talk about when you're looking at depth guys, you want guys who can kind of go anywhere. He's 6'4", 270 pounds. So kind of is a little bit too light for a defensive end, or excuse me, a defensive tackle, a little bit too big for a defensive end, but can kind of do anything. And again, if you're going to be a later round pick, find a way to get on the football field, whatever it takes. Well, there's a way for him to do it. Jake Funk was their first of 3 selections in the 7th round. He's interesting. So he had multiple ACL tears, which caused him to miss multiple seasons, which is unfortunate. But maybe this is the logic. Hey, it's the 7th round pick. You don't need halfback, but sort of taking a flyer on a highly injured guy. And if he sucks, whatever, you lose the 7th round pick that you have 3 of. It's not the end of the world. There were other 2 selections, Ben Skournick and Chris Garrett. Both seem to be like mostly special teams guys who could maybe become depth at their respective positions as well, but seem largely special teams guys. So that's what they did with their 7th-round picks. Interesting stuff. I don't hate a lot of what they did. The wide receiver round 2, Tutu Atwell, that's a bit surprising to me. I'm not sure if that's really what I would have done there, but you also have Ernest Jones, who seems like a solid pick. Really, everything else they did, I have no issues with. It's just that one pick that I just don't fully understand personally. But what do you guys think? Do you disagree? Do you think Tutu Atwell makes sense there? And it's not even really I disagree. It's just I just don't understand it. And maybe Sean McVay could explain it in a way that makes sense. I think he'll probably explain it by what we see on the football field. We'll see an explanation one way or the other. Whether it makes sense or doesn't, that's to be determined. But we'll see that explanation. So I'm looking forward to that. That's what I think of the Rams draft. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.